Make sure that you've got your calculator reference sheet on page 135 open so that you can follow along in the step-by-step directions. Feel free to pause the video as needed. The first example, we have a table that shows the approximate percent of students who sent applications to 2 colleges in various years since 1985. So on the table, they've given us a set of data. Our first step is to put that data into our calculator. So to put our data into our calculator, you first press Stat. Then select Edit. If you have data already in your calculator, scroll up to the heading. Hit Clear, then Enter. Never hit Delete. Now we're going to put our data in exactly as you see it in the table. Hit Enter after each set of data. Now that you've got your data in the calculator, we're going to go to Stat, Calc, and we're going to use option number 4. Some of your calculators may look a little different than this. That's okay. If your calculator looks like mine, you're going to scroll down to Calculate and hit Enter. If your calculator did not have the same screen as my first calculator, it probably looks like this. All that you have to do is hit Enter. If you don't have the R value, to get that, you need to press second and the 0 button. It should say Catalog above it. You're going to scroll down until it says Diagnostic On. Once you get the Diagnostic On, you're going to hit Enter and hit Enter one more time. Once you have this screen up, you have your equation of best fit. They've given us the equation y equals ax plus b. We are going to plug in all of the numbers for a and all of the numbers for b in that equation. In order to predict what percent of students will send applications to 2 schools in 2010, we need to actually put our equation into the y equals. To do that, we're going to hit y equals, clear out anything that's there. Then go to vars, statistics, equation, regression equation. This should copy and paste your equation into the Y1 spot. The plot 1, if that's turned on, what that's going to do is it's going to graph your data. So if you want to look at a graph and see how well our line actually fits our data, you need to make sure you go to Window. You need to adjust your window to match what our data has. Our X values for our data go anywhere from 0 to 15. So a minimum would be 0, and a good maximum might be 20. And you might tell it to count by 1s or 5s. Then our Y minimum. Our data for Y goes from 13 up to 20. So keeping it at 0 might be a good idea so that when you graph it by hand over here, you can look at your calculator and it'll be a better reference for you. Our maximum might be 25, and we want it to count by 1s. These might not be the same as what I've chosen if you've already chosen a window, and that's okay, as long as it fits the data. So to see how well our model fits our data, we're going to hit Graph. The line is our line of best fit, and all of the dots are our data. Now to actually do a prediction, we need to have our equation in the y1. We've already got that finished, so our next step is to hit second, table set. We want to know how many applications were sent to 2 colleges in 2010. 2010 is 25 years after 1985, so we want our table to start at 25. Then you want to go to your table. Press second, graph. This tells me that in 2010, or 25 years after 1985, 8% of students sent their application to 2 schools. To answer the last question, we want to look at our R value. We never use R squared, but the R value indicates to me how accurate my prediction could be, or how accurate my model is. The closer that R value is to -1 or +1, the stronger the correlation is, the stronger the model is. Right now, our equation is giving us an R value of -0.95. Since that's between -0.9 and -1, this is a very strong model. Therefore, our prediction would appear to be accurate. Let's go through another example. This table shows the median income of U.S. families for the period of 1970 to 2002. Our first step is always to input our data. To enter our data, we are going to go to Stat, Edit, and we need to clear out our data. So we highlight the heading, press Clear, Enter. Then enter your data. Once we have our data entered, we're going to find our regression equation. Go to Stat, over to Calc, and select option 4. Again, your calculator may look different than mine. Remember to write every number when you plug a and b into the y equals ax plus b. If we want to evaluate how good of a model our equation is, we need to look at the R value. The R value is between 0.9 and 1. That means that this is a very strong and accurate model. To use our equation to predict the median income in 2015, we need to put our regression equation into y equals. Hit y equals, go to VARs, Statistics, Equation, Regression Equation. If I wanted to look at the graph of the scatter plot and the graph at the line, I want my plot 1 to be on. Then I'm going to go to Window. I want to alter my window so that it matches my data. The smallest year is 1970. The largest year is 2002. Counting by ones would be appropriate here, but feel free to switch it to 2s or 5s. The minimum is at 9,867, and the maximum is at 51,680. It's always a good idea to make your minimum 0 with scatter plots. My maximum will be at 52,000. That means I probably don't want to count by ones, so I'm going to change it to 5,000. Then hit Graph. There's my data and how close my data fits to my line. To use my line for prediction, I need to make sure I have it in y equals, which we already do. Then go to Second, Window, which is Table Set, and we want to know what the income was in 2015. So that's where we want our table to start, 2015. Then go to your table, second graph. So in 2015, the income was approximately $69,214. If you have any other questions, feel free to come visit me during early session.